Hi, Ashley.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Um, we've been doing this thing for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, can you imagine?
Time flies. I mean, I can't believe it's been 5 years since the pandemic because we started
Yo,
this in the fall of 2020 and really had no idea how much life was going to change during that time. I mean, obviously, with so much tragedy going on around that too, and we just had downtime and wanted to bring joy to
we,
ourselves and to others.
yes,
And
exactly.
we have continued to what I love. I mean, life in general continues to surprise you, and there are firsts and new things to discover. But the podcast has yet to feel stale or like, still having many firsts, doing a lot of new things, new territory to, go down. We're even starting video podcasting. All
Yes.
these things we've talked about for a long time have been on our podcast vision board, I guess one could say. Like we're still
Yeah,
ticking those things off, and that's just really exciting. Like I don't know
very.
what I envisioned 5 years from when we started would look like, but I think I'm very happy to continue to go down this path with you and our listeners and eventual viewers
Same.
and you know recapping pod, baby. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. You know what I also love about it is, to your point with it not getting stale, it's just like it's something that belongs to us, and I think that's something that um I truly love. I love that for us.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that a little bit in our recap. It's going to drop on Tuesday.
You are absolutely correct. Um, and we'll talk a little bit more about our 5 year celebration in our hot topics. But let's go ahead and get into some headlines. Ashley, Paris Fashion Week has been on and popping, spring 2026. And I only really want to talk about the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, in this classic monochromatic modern dramatic draping. I'm referencing wwd.com for those who are wondering. But what I love so much about this, Ashley, is the fact that sis was like, yes, I can cook, but I am still that girl. You know what I mean? Like, uh, I don't think she rocked this hard since, my favorite iconic, her last official working royal appearance during Commonwealth Day. She wore that green. Her monochromatic is just it just works. It works for me. You know what I mean? I love it every time. I looked it up. It was the emerald green Emilia Wickstead cape dress and a hat by William Chambers. That, and then her walk is so nasty. I love it. I love it. It's like, bring the pressure, remind these folks who you are, okay? Because
Yeah.
that's what Kamala said. Her mom taught her, you don't let people tell you who you are. You tell them who you are. Okay. Shout out to 107 Days. Uh, Ashley, did you see the look? And she showed up for Balenciaga.
Absolutely. I saw the white one and I've seen the black one with the look over the shoulder. I
The
mean,
back.
to your
Yes.
point, I did forget that she is a fashionista. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I did forget. But shout out also to the haters who made me remember like that she really is something to talk about because y'all the hate is
Oh,
ridiculous. Like you would think,
yes.
y'all don't know what it's like to strut. You know what I mean? That's all she was doing. This is a moment. This
This
is
is
fashion.
Paris
This is
Fashion
fashion, honey.
Week. You know
Y'all
what
gonna
that
show up
means?
walking silly and looking goofy? No.
No,
You gonna strut out here. This is
it's what they call
fashion.
aura. That's what the kids are calling it. We called it, swag. vibes, what have you. It's that X factor. It's that je ne sais quoi, if you
And
will,
if you
you
don't
know?
have it, you fake it in moments
Whew,
like this. You're on
that part.
camera. You have all these paparazzi bulbs and regular people flashing in videos. You're going to be on, honey. Sometimes I do this leaving my house,
Period.
let alone if I'm at
Period.
Paris Fashion Week. You walk
Exactly.
into a party or something like that, you want to bring some swag through the door or aura, let alone a moment like
Absolutely.
this. So y'all go ahead, haters. Just know she looked good, clearly.
Absolutely. And what I also love is, you know, this is her first time showing up at a fashion week. Like this is what I wish she had done, if she was still a working royal, but we do not begrudge her for escaping, or should I say getting out. Wink wink. Um but ultimately I want to see her doing stuff like this, and this makes me happy. And she came out to, you know, celebrate her friend who's the new creative director. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but his last name is Piccola. Um, yeah, Piccolia.
Hmm.
I apologize. I haven't heard it. So I'm just going off of reading. I apologize in advance. Sorry, fashion people. I usually am on it. So anyway. Yeah, so that brought me joy. So I wanted to talk about it. Speaking of someone who has a lot of haters, Miss Curry, Ayesha. So sis went on call her daddy and had a real conversation. Okay, this chica said, quote, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be a career girl, and that's it. And then it happened so early in my life, I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. She met the love of her life at 22. She said, I was naive. I was very young, unpolished 22. Like, I didn't have much life experience. And then she said they got married and they got pregnant right away. And she said it was not on her bingo card. People are losing their sugar honey iced tea on the internet, Ashley. And for me, this is a normal conversation.
Mm-hmm.
My mother told me at a young age that she thought she would never gonna get married, and she didn't want kids. She wanted to be on TV reporting the news, or she said an FBI agent. I'm like, I love this for her because she's adventurous. Um, but having two babies with my dad, moving to different states and doing what she's been doing was not her bingo card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, life come at you fast sometimes, and you adapt. Sometimes that what you think you want, you realize you may not want it. But then
Mm-hmm.
also, we talk a lot about society. There's a lot of conversation going on in the state of our world today and what they're trying to do with women, because we've made so much progress in a short amount of time. And there's a lot of conversations about men not really um uh being able to how do I want to say this, Ashley, meet the moment, shall I say, when it comes to, the education and the accolades and the independence of it all. It's a lot of conversation in,
Bodily
recent
autonomy. Mm-hmm.
girl body autonomy. It's a lot of conversation around young men of the loneliness epidemic or the failure to launch. Those are the kind of conversations that are going around men these days. But I truly believe societies for millennia have kept women young, dumb, and pregnant on purpose. Of course, you don't know yourself at 22 years old. Of course, you're not going to be the same person you were at 22 as you are. I think this woman is like 36 years old or something like that. 34 or something. Yeah, 36 years old. I don't see anything wrong with this conversation. Do you?
No, I mean, I think people hone in on certain people that they just don't like and they kind of run with that. Like, I think she's been getting these types of sentiments for a while when she says certain things and the way she's maneuvered and career paths she's chosen to go down based off of, who she is and who her husband is. But I mean, I did wonder why she went on call her daddy specifically. Um,
Why not?
I mean, I didn't foresee it. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, Ayesha Curry, yeah, she's gonna go and call her daddy. It just didn't. It wasn't
Are
one of
you
those guests where I was like, oh yeah, I would have expected that to be serving that audience to some capacity.
do you think it's because of the tea you imagine she would have, or do you just think it's because of the demographic? Because to me, Ayesha, she's done so much being a wife of a NBA superstar. I'm a fan of Curry's. Like that three brings me joy. Okay. But
Chef Steph.
um I've actually been extremely proud of her, what she's been able to do, make a name for herself. um you know I don't want to say despite Steph's career, but in tandem, what have you. The other piece I was going to say is she's
Maybe
done a
it's
lot with a bunch of babies.
perhaps it's just my perception of Call Her Daddy because I don't really listen or watch the podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not really about specifically Ayesha herself or anything she has or hasn't done. It's more so
Mm-hmm.
just like, what is this serving to the audience that Alex has garnered with that platform?
And that's what I was alluding to. It's giving girl boss. And I know we don't say that anymore, but that's what I think that's the appeal, in my opinion. And
Okay.
honestly, the person who I didn't expect to be on Call Her Daddy is freaking Shonda Rhimes, which I'm actually quite excited about because she's gonna give some more tea on Grey's Anatomy and all of her hits, and we're fans. So I just feel like, yes, her husband is a future Hall of Famer. Yes, he is who he is. But I just feel like she's allowed to have her opinion about her life.
I
Sometimes
mean,
life do come
absolutely.
at you super fast and you adjust. And yes, she has money, and yes, she has recognition, and yes, you know, um, whatever. It's like people, to your point, don't like her, and I think they just are running with it. I feel like at first she was a pygmy, because you remember back in the day she was really big on, like, oh, you got to cover up, because she was very conservative. But again, she was young. Then she had that third baby and it was like, let me show some skin. I'm like, this is what we call growth. We want growth. Like, we want autonomy over our bodies, and live our best lives.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are always going to have opinions, obviously, but absolutely entitled to tell her own story. If she writes a book, whatever else she chooses to do, that's totally up to her. And that's Steph's wife. Like, it's always funny when people talk about other people's spouses as if, their
Their
spouse has
fans.
not had, as if their spouse has not had the most in-depth conversations with them more than
Like,
anyone else possibly could. So I'm going to highly doubt anything that Ayesha says is a surprise to him specifically. So
that
they'll
part.
be fine. They'll be
Exactly.
just fine.
That part. All right. Ashley, I have a question for you. If you could list the names of white women the Black community do not play with, who's in your top three?
Did this come from the conversation that Io had recently?
No, no.
Okay, she had a conversation about the ones that the Caribbean community, Black women community don't play
Oh,
about. It was
no.
Celine, it was Julia, and it was one other person.
You're talking
Celine,
about
Julia,
for
and somebody
her
else.
Vogue cover, IO?
I don't know if it was for Vogue specifically.
Because she's on Vogue. Shout out to her in her first Vogue. And she's a Chanel ambassador, which is like fantastic. And I'm so excited about that for her.
Yeah.
Um, but from your perspective, who's on that list? Who's in your top three?
3 white women that the Black community doesn't play about. I mean, I'll definitely say Julia Roberts is in there for me personally. I
I
think,
love Julia.
especially with the MLK connection now, people
Connection,
have a
mind
newfound
blown.
love and respect for her and her family and all of that. And she's never been problematic. And she championed
Yes, she
Denzel.
has been very problematic on how she moved in her relationships, but
I'm
that ain't
talking
got nothing to do with
about,
us.
yeah, who cares about that? People love Bill Clinton, right? Black people loved Bill Clinton,
I
and he
know.
was wild. So no, I'm not talking about that. Um, who else would be in my top three? Hmm, I feel like maybe Adele would be in my
It's
top three.
definitely in my top five.
Yeah, I feel like Adele is up there. And then, I mean, this is tough for me, I guess, because if I'm honest, I don't think we give that much weight or pass anymore like we
We
might have
don't.
once
And that's
did.
why the list should be, well, not should be. I think the list is short because of that. So that's
Yeah.
why I was
Yeah.
curious on your thoughts. So for me, it's like Celine Dion, Hallie from Paramore, and Dolly Parton.
Well, I saw Haley's comments recently, but I think Haley is still a little niche. I don't know how mainstream I feel like she is amongst Black people in the same
The Black
ways of
people who
like
know her love
Celine and
her. Yeah.
Julia and some of those folks.
So what I'm trying to get at is our dear Dolly Parton just recently came out and said, quote, I ain't dead yet. She has canceled some recent tour dates, and her sister is out here posted saying, send some prayers to my sister. So people were freaking the F out, me included. I am people. And, and Dolly just came out literally today, was like, yo, I am okay. She said, yes, I am under the weather. Yes, I had to reschedule these concert dates. But guess what? Her husband was sick and then he passed on. She said she didn't take care of herself after he passed on, which again, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. But she was just like, I ain't done yet, and God ain't called me up yet, so it's gonna be okay. Did you see that news of Dolly Parton?
Absolutely. And this is why even when people pass away and stuff, I'm always like, I can't listen to the family or anybody else. If it's not coming from the person themselves about anything, I have to take it with a grain of salt because, like, your sister panicked the community of Dolly
Literally,
Parton fans thinking she
yes.
might be sick on her deathbed and then comes retracts it and says, oh no, I'm very much into the power of prayer. Like, ma'am, then you keep that to yourself in the house. There's no
I felt
reason to
like
be
she
putting
knew
that out there
exactly what she was
publicly.
doing. I'm like, sis,
And I
like,
had never even knew she had a sister till
listen,
now.
I knew she came from a large family, but never heard about this sister ever either. You know what I mean? Like we tend to know really famous, people in their families. Had no idea. So when I first put this on our agenda, I was gonna come at this completely different before Dolly sent that video. She was like, hold your horses. All right. I'm still here.
I
I'm
don't think you should
still
say that about
here,
anybody these days unless
here,
they're like hospitalized or
here.
we know they're battling some type of illness. Like, don't even
Kind
do
of
that.
like Jamie Foxx from several years ago. You remember when that went down? It was like
Do
when
I
his daughter called
remember?
for,
Yes.
yeah, I know, I know.
Yes.
This brings me so much joy. Huntrix, the singers for K-pop Demon Hunters. I am just so happy they're getting their time in the spotlight. The actor voices were definitely the first of the rollout, especially as the momentum of the popularity of this iconic Netflix movie. Shout out to our recap. Please check it out. Um, but what I love about it is that the singers are getting their due, because guess what? This song freaking Golden is like staying put on these charts. Taylor couldn't even pass them. And she just dropped an album that's about to, break records as always. But EJ Ardri, EJ Ardria Nuna and Ria Ami performed on Jimmy Fallon, and they did a fantastic job. EJ hit those notes. I just love this because obviously I love the soundtrack, but Sis is a songwriter. Okay, she wrote, I think almost all the songs. Partner up with I forget his name. Teddy is his first name. I'm forgetting his last name, but what I'm trying to say is she went through K-pop boot camp. She didn't make it. And I love that she still managed to literally find her voice and to continue to make music. And
It's crazy when things don't recognize people who go on to be huge,
right?
successful.
Oh my gosh. Like, who said no to her? Especially with those notes that she was hitting. And I just found out because I knew Golden. I think this is why I enjoy the soundtrack so much. Is like people don't sing loud and big like anymore. Everything is very like, Billy whispering and borderline crying in a microphone. Like, we're going up. Like being able to do that karaoke and all that, it's fun. I don't know. I have a blast personally. But I thought the note that she hit in that song was her highest note. Apparently, she hits a D6 in how it's done. So I'm like, oh, so this is light work. Okay, got it. But
What a
what I also
springboard
love
to show
is
off her talent. That's
I know. And she
to
said she
hit
has
it
a
out the
single coming
park.
out.
Where do you go from
Yes.
here, girl? Where do you go from here?
Where do you go? And what I also enjoyed is Jimmy's a fan. I'm like, of course Jimmy Fallon's a fan of this. So did
This
you
is
see the
definitely his
performance?
speed. No, I have
Yes.
not seen the performance, but this is definitely his speed, and his level of enthusiasm is the perfect
Yes.
place to go.
And they were on SNL recently as well. Shout out to my future BFF, Bowen Yang, dressed up as Genu. And Bed Buddy hosted. I just
Mm.
love that SNL. What I hate is SNL ain't got no black women on the show anymore, but that's a whole nother conversation. Shout out to you, Ego. We miss you. But I think what that's proved to me is like they recognize that adults have enjoyed this just as much as children, and it just was crack. Did you see the SNL skit?
No, I mean, I
No.
saw Bad Bunny's intro though, that I did
Yeah,
catch, and I do need to brush up on my Espanol.
I will say it's funny and I recommend it. So um yes, the singers behind Huntrix made their way essentially on NBC. So SNL on Saturday, Fallon on Tuesday. Love, love, love. And then speaking of love, we adore Black love. Congratulations to Ryan Destiny and Keith Powers. They are engaged. Quote, we're floating. I am looking at essence.com. And yeah, I just love how all the girlies are getting engaged. I mean, we have Ryan, we have Coco. Who else do we have? We have Normani. Oh, these pictures are so gorgeous. They're so beautiful. Oh, okay. Um, I'm happy for them. They broke up at one point, but they have gotten back together and now they're going to the altar. Yeah, so they met in 2015, they dated and broke up in 2022 and reunited in 2023. What do they call that, Ashley, when people, oh, they spin the block?
Spinning the block. Yeah, I was seeing in Essence article that he said he'd been planning to propose for a year and a half. So he has some things cooking for a little while, but they are like 90s black love vibes to me, which is what
Yes.
I've always enjoyed about them as a couple. And I enjoy them separately. So once they got together, I was like,
Yes.
Ryan, I see you because I have a special place in my heart for Keith. And especially for this like generation, I
Yes.
didn't know if these kids were gonna make it. I think I told you over the weekend, I was like, I wonder if they broke up the first time because Ryan was like, you're not taking this seriously enough. But I mean, they're
Right.
both obviously actors and musicians and whatever they're doing within their careers that take up their time and space. So it could also be a lot of those factors. So
Well, yeah, and that's what I don't know these people, but I made this similar assumption of like they're probably trying to figure out their careers,
yeah.
and but I'm glad that they found each other. This is so sweet. They're so gorgeous. Love, 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 love. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Beautiful babies possibly down the line.
Yes, little Hershey kisses. Ooh. Okay, let's get into our hot topic. All right. I do prefer not to talk about this woman because, especially after this album, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm talking about Taylor Swift. She has released T12. It is called um, Life of a Showgirl. And I had absolutely zero intentions on listening to this album. But Ash and I, we've been talking about this. We have careers, and the way corporate has been set up lately, this like getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, thinking about work, and then like jotting down the thoughts that I have so that I can remember them during working hours. That happened to me last Friday, and I was like, "Well, I'm up," and I didn't want to listen to my book because the book I'm reading is kind of dark. Shout out to Alchemized. If you know, you know. And so I was like, let's look at this. Let's listen to this girl's album. Okay. So I listened, Ashley. And immediately I was like, this isn't great. As everyone may know, I was never a Swiftie, but I did enjoy her earlier albums. Um, but this album was borderline cringy for me, like to the point where I'm like, oh, this doesn't, it's not giving showgirl to me. One, right? Like I'm expecting some va va voom somewhere, right? And in addition to that, she said certain things on certain songs, and I was like, excuse me. The first is off of the eldest daughter song, where she's talking about I'm not a bad bitch or a savage. I'm like, why is black culture vernacular on a Taylor Swift album? One,
It was very corny.
it was very corny, and it sounded dreadful. Okay, because that's my biggest critique. It's like these songs aren't that great, and they feel like a 14-year-old girl wrote them in her journal. Now, granted, that's how she started, but I'm like, sis is 35 years old, Ashley. When are you going to grow up? And I think she thought she was growing up with the song Would, pretty much talking about being digmatized. But then even on Wishlist, she's talking about everybody wants a fat ass and a baby face. I'm just like, this doesn't make me feel comfortable as a black person. It feels like somebody's punching down. It's like I saw several people's critiques online that I actually really appreciated. One came from this white man. I don't know him from Paul. His name is Barrett Pale. It says he says this on Instagram threads, and I thought it was valid. He's like, Taylor Swift has written a lot of music about breakups, totally valid. Now that she is writing from a place of quote being with someone forever, she's moved into a different space where she's writing about her fiance's exes, all in caps. It's just not cool, necessary, and as many Black women have said, racist. I'm not calling her racist. Well, it is racist. I mean, these are racist acts, and it doesn't help that it's really feeding into what people are saying are the conservative ideas of like, oh yes, I've won like 4 albums of the year and I'm a billionaire, but all I really want is your dick and to have your babies and a neighborhood that look like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say all that to say, again, the song Wood felt like a 14-year-old seeing a penis for the first time, and it was a no for me. Ashley, I asked you to listen to at least 2 songs. I'd like to know if you did, and what were your immediate reactions?
Yeah, I listened to the two you just mentioned. Would sonically, I enjoyed more than Eldest Daughter, just in terms of production. But I mean,
It's off a Jackson
neither
5 song, by the way.
neither are the caliber of previous songs of hers. When I have listened to things
Yes.
that I've enjoyed in terms of singles and things like that, neither of them lived up to that. And I haven't been a particular fan of Taylor Swift in a long time. So when I was listening to the lyrics, I was like, again, about the I'm not a bad bitch, I'm not a savage. I was like, this sounds so corny to me. I don't know if this is as if I'm talking to Taylor, your attempt at, humor or what this is supposed to be, but it didn't feel genuine. Like, I'd rather
No,
you just know that you're a latte sipping, sweater and scarf wearing white woman.
we're
Like,
in her season. Fall is her
just
season.
be who
Exactly.
you are and let the audience, love you for that. I don't need you to try to, I don't know, appeal to whoever you thought you were appealing to with this, but I had to cleanse my palate after that cuz I didn't enjoy it. So,
And then in addition to that, Ashley, it's like, are you insecure that you're not a bad bitch or a savage? Because it's like somebody said this also, and I agreed with it. It's like I think Taylor is aware that everyone is aware that Travis has only dated Black women until
at
and
least publicly,
then very, very publicly. Even his dating show was like half Black girls. And he still picked a Black girl.
he
The
changed
other
his whole personality to be with her, it feels like.
chameleon art shapeshifter, shape shifter. Um,
He went from
uh,
being like a white chocolate man with the swag and all the things to like a
yes,
cop or like
yes,
a man of the woods or
yes.
something very stereotypical in the complete opposite direction.
It
It's
was.
so odd.
It's a bit like Whiplash. I'm not
Like,
gonna
I
lie.
want to know people who grew up with Travis, and y'all tell me who that man really is, because I don't know
Yes,
anymore. I thought the person
yes.
I was introduced to, I thought that was who he was, and then when he got with Taylor, I was like, oh, he's trying to like fit in. But now I just don't know. Maybe the black version, the blacker version was the fake persona. I don't know what to believe.
Possibly. He played that role very well
I don't
because
know what to
I
believe.
can guarantee you I knew him as the white football player who dated the Black girls. I knew who Kayla Nicole was before I really knew his name. And then they
Well,
started
for
winning a
sure.
bunch.
But I mean, I thought
Um,
he was like John B. Now he's not John B.
he's
Is
not,
he Justin Timberlake and Bieber, where they do it when it makes sense? I mean, not this drastic, obviously, because I don't feel like
yeah.
either of them went this drastic when they made certain decisions with their love lives. But y'all get my point. My point is, who is Travis really?
So, two main parts I wanted to highlight also with this is like, because she also in Opalite talks about Onyx nights and your girl was only with you for the pictures and you were alone, but now you're with me and we have Opalite. Like, you went from dark to light essentially. And for me, it's like, why are you talking about this man's exes? Like, that makes you look very insecure, Taylor, because it's like, they ain't got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. And it feels like you're punching down and again making yourself the victim or a petty winner or something. I don't know. Um, and then somebody also said this they call themselves online vanities. It's more than just Travis one X. Oh, okay. It's more than just Travis one X. Travis' last three ex-girlfriends have been black. Three of Taylor's exes are married or dating black women. She's feeling very insecure right now. Poo on her. And people immediately were like, which exes are dating black people? And here they are. And I was like, oh, shut the front
I
door.
can think of 2 out of the 3 already.
Yes. Okay. Um, where is it? Here it is. Tom Hiddleston. Hiddleston.
Number
Shout
one.
out to Loki. Calvin Harris is. They're both married to black women, and Harry Styles is dating Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, the only one I didn't have was the second one. Yeah, I was like, I know 2 out of the 3. Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, yo. So anyway, I just find something else to talk about. Talking about your ex's girlfriends for profit is weird to me. Oh, anyway, the album isn't great, and people were like, when people are happy, they don't make good art. But I refuse to believe that. I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and we just didn't get it, because we're, I don't think it's there.
I mean, some people get stunted at
She
certain
has been stunted
ages.
her entire career then.
Well, I think it is rare musical artists who can constantly transform themselves. That is not the norm. Like to be
Well
able to
said.
last and keep yourself fresh and keep it fresh for your audience is not the norm. So she may just be one of those artists who does not continue to evolve,
Um,
but she's still going to be hella successful, clearly.
well, shout out to Blake Leaf, you know, friend of the pod. He said that she's the Tyler Perry of music. So the more
She knows her
success you
audience.
get, she knows her audience. The more success she gets, the worse the content.
Yikes.
And then the other thing I wanted to say is, I don't want to make the one for one comparison, but Beyonce is that artist who has been able to continue to grow and
Uh-huh.
evolve. Like at 35, she made us Piggy Body award winning Lemonade. Okay. That should have absolutely won album of the year. But
This
you
conversation
understand
is
what I'm
going to
trying to
make me
say.
upset. Yeah. This is why I don't like the constant comparison between them because
It's not the same.
it's disgusting. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But this is not going to be a Taylor Swift
It's
bash
not.
session. I have said my piece on other podcasts. Y'all can go back and listen to those if you please.
Exactly.
Just know, don't tell me anything about Taylor Swift being like Beyonce. I don't want to hear it.
No, but I just reached, there are other artists who made transformative music by the age of 35, and I don't think we're getting that. I think she's in her billionaire bag, and Swifties are eating it up. And the Discord has been very, very entertaining. Um, I was looking forward to the eldest daughter song though, because I was like, there, I understand that plight so well, and she disappointed me on that one. So let's talk about some happy things. 5 years, Ashley. We are 5 years old, our podcast, and I love to get your top 5 moments.
Yeah, I had to make a little list, and I've still been thinking about this. This is not going to be necessarily in any particular order, and some
Neither
of
will mine
these
be.
our OG fans know about
Yes.
Abby, but here we go. Um, in conversations, just
Of
have to say,
course.
big
Yes.
highlight. Love to talk to people, love to get insights, love to build relationships. Hannah Beekler, in particular, was one that really stands out for me because she is from where we're from. She
Yes.
is Black excellence in terms of the work and the art that she's making. She's such a genuine person. She does some of our favorite projects. She is the first African American woman to win Best Production Design at the Oscars. I mean, I could go on, but it was
Yes.
phenomenal to have the opportunity and for her to give us the opportunity to speak with her. Every in conversation is incredible, but that one I remember, like, I think
Yes.
I cried after we talked to her or
Easily.
before either.
Easily. It was, girl. Yes.
Yeah. The Dayton Black Women's Film Festival that we had the chance
Yes.
to participate in this year was phenomenal. It was a first. It was our first live recordings, first time being a sponsor of a major event. Again, a
Yes.
collaboration with a Black woman and other Black women that she worked with as a part of that. We had happened upon Angelina and her story and talked to her the year prior. And so to really be able to come together and celebrate with her and see everything in the flesh was just amazing and inspiring, and loved it. Essence Fest. When we did Essence Fest,
Yes.
that was our first like real trip together, our first event together. It was the first year that Essence Fest was doing a film festival portion, which was
Yes.
crazy.
And this, it was also post pandemic. So it was a
Yeah.
big deal. And we
I mean, we
both
both
got
got
COVID.
COVID, so we took the risk, but it was worth it. I mean, it was 3 days jam packed.
Yes, it was. I had blisters on my feet
Yeah, it
at
was
the end
hot.
of
It was
that.
July in New Orleans and NOLA. A lot of walking because you couldn't get a car or anything after
Could
those
not.
concerts. It was like two
Nope.
o'clock in the morning. We were walking back to the hotel.
Who Nicki Minaj was a hot mess
Yeah, she
too.
was not far from removed from having a baby, and
Yeah, but
her
her stage
stage
presence
presence was not. It wasn't
non-existent.
great.
But you know who was ready? Patty.
I mean, I really enjoyed, like, this was my first time seeing New Edition. It was my
Same.
first time seeing the
Janet?
Isley brothers. It was not my first time seeing Janet. I had
No,
seen
that
Janet
was
on the
my first time
Janet
seeing.
tour back in the day,
Nice.
which was
Nice.
incredible. So yeah, I mean, but it was my first time in New Orleans. So I always say I
Hmm.
have to go back to New Orleans to eat really well because
You
when we
do. It
went,
was packed.
it was like we're just trying to get in where we can fit in because there's so many
Period.
people in the city and everybody's trying to get to these events. So I
Yep.
definitely have to go back. But Essence Fest was a moment. Episode with our moms, when we did a
Oh,
recap with our moms of the photograph, I really enjoyed it. It was so nice to like kind of come full circle in the sense that, both of our moms are inspiration for us to love this genre that we love of pop
culture.
culture and TV and
Yes.
film and all of that. So to get them to come on, get their perspective, for them to see what goes into these episodes, because it's different being a listener versus when you have to
Yeah.
participate and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
be on,
true.
I gotta be ready. Like, yeah, it's not as easy as it may seem.
Say what you say with your chest. No.
Yeah, but it was fun, and I hope they really, really enjoyed it.
Yes,
Mamas can come back anytime.
they
Um,
can.
and I also have as my fifth one just our very first episode. Like the launch and the start of the podcast, our enthusiasm. We were going so
Oh,
long, getting into the nitty gritty of every detail because
we
of
didn't know
our
what to do.
passion. Yeah, like we were so passionate about it, right? And when I listen back to those episodes, I get so much joy because you know it's a beautiful thing to have something and then just push forward. Like it wasn't perfect, obviously.
No.
We've continued to refine over time, but it was so exciting to get to start this, and I don't ever want to lose that like gratitude for the platform that we've created. So those are my top 5. Honorable mention obviously to our award nomination for the Black
Yes.
Podcasting Awards. I still have that I think imagery somewhere of when we got the
Yes.
nomination, and eventually we'll win an award.
We
But
will.
it was very like that whole spiel about it's an honor just to be nominated. It truly
It
was,
really
because like
was.
we got that within our first couple of years of
I think it was
starting.
our first
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Yeah, that was major.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, to your point, to me, it was, I mean, obviously you have to validate yourself, but I thought it was cool. Like, it's like, oh, we're doing something cool. And you can see that we're doing something cool too, you know?
Exactly. Oh, and being spotlighted in Dating.com around that time as
Yes.
well was
Yes.
incredible. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm looking forward to more opportunities to get in media in that way too. Um, yeah. Okay. So my 5. Um, I honestly, for me, is the fact that, like, me personally, there were 2 moves and 2 corporate jobs. So I need to add yours so we get a grand total of like what has happened in 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot has happened, and I love that we have been able to continue to do this, to continue to evolve. If you listen to our episodes in the very beginning, it was just one long episode of headlines, hot topics, and the recap. And we made the switch to drop twice a week, and I think that was the best decision. And I enjoy the fact that we have our flow, our routine. We have 370 episodes, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, 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 wow. That's a lot. And I
Counting
know,
the replays and stuff, we're at almost 400 drops.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And in conversations were absolutely on my list as well. Just being able to just reach out to people we know in our network, and shout out to you for reaching out to people who were far beyond our network.
Shooting my
uh
shot at all times.
Shooting, girl. I was telling somebody the other day the fact how you legit watched the documentary Movie Pass Movie Crash on HBO. Check it out. And was like, let me just go ahead and reach out to the CEO and founder of Movie Pass.
On LinkedIn, baby.
And the fact that this man said yes, and he was so generous with his time and his
Yes.
story.
Yes.
And it is one of my favorite episodes because I get so inspired hearing it. Like the stories that he told us of, like, you know, unfortunately in today's climate, people have lost a lot. And so to be able to have the mindset that he talked about how he was inspired by Job in the Bible. I'm like, sir, yo, okay, I guess I get it. Job lost everything. But to just have that resilience, that resiliency, like, oh, inspired.
Yeah.
And he talked to us. And like he was on an entire press run and he did not go as deep with those people as he did with us. And that's something that means so much to me that I do think is part of our superpower. I'm not gonna cry, but it's like, being able to create a safe space for people to tell their stories means so much to me. And like, to me, the biggest compliment is when people are able to hear our podcast and they find themselves talking to us, or with us as if they're in the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that we're able to bring some light to the world.
And
um
shout out to Black people, because to your
yes.
point, like that's so lovely that people will even take the time to read a message from a stranger who just cold message them. Like
Yes.
I am never afraid to shoot my shot. and I will, but it doesn't mean I'm
It is
expecting a
something that I
response.
admire about you, my friend.
Yeah, like so yes, thank you to the blacks for always giving us an
Listen,
opportunity to have the conversation.
especially every black woman we've ever had on this podcast also.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
there is the shorthand that we have is something that I love so much and I appreciate. And what else do I have? Being able to meet Hannah Beekler in person, I thought that was a full circle moment. The fact that we literally talked to her 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Like I said,
crazy.
she was on the set of Wakanda Forever talking about, I think her Oscar win was still relatively still sparkly, still
Yeah.
new. And again, she took the time to talk to us. She took the time in her trailer to talk to us. And when we saw her on Sunday, to sit in and to know all the projects she talked about Creed. She of course talked about Black Panther and Wakanda Forever, but she talked about Sinners. She talked about Sinners. I cannot wait. Oh my goodness, war season is gonna be so lit. Sinners better get all of the awards. Okay. Um, and then when we talked to her, she was like, "Oh yeah, I just finished Children of Blood and Bone." I was like, "You what? Like,
When do you sleep, ma'am? But
when do
also
you sleep? And how
that
uh,
IMDb when it's all said and done.
fire,
Yeah.
fire?" And I
But I
was
mean, you can
like,
tell also she's so passionate, like,
"She is
and the purpose, like she's living within her purpose, and that just has to be incredible. You know?
has to be, has to be." And I read the first book. I really did enjoy the first book, and I'm like, "Oh, you're doing all." I'm like, "You're doing canon type stuff, like things that we are going to forever remember." Like, remember
Mhm.
that time?
Already do.
You remember that time already. So I cannot wait to see what world she created for that movie. And again, I don't know if I'm on five or not, but I just love the life that we've lived in these 5 years. I love the people we've talked to. Again, reaching out to our network, shout out to family, friends, and um, old schoolmates who are in the business who took the time to talk to us and tell their story. More recently, also shout out to Kristen Elberry, our very first author.
Mhm.
Um, I'm proud of us. Shout out to Nene Lick, not Nene Licks, Niecy Nash. Shout out to Niecy Nash
Oh,
in her speech. I like to thank me.
me.
I like to thank me for my consistency. And
And
then when
she
I say
looked
me,
so good when
I
she did that
mean,
speech.
like her skin looked
Stunning.
supple. Like,
Stunning. Stunning.
but what I'm saying is, I'm proud of us, Ashley.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Thank you. Thank you for that. Absolutely.
um,
Again, it can sometimes seem like it's not a big deal that you cut on some mics and you just do this. The amount of
but
prep
people be scared. I
that
forget people are terrified.
it's beyond. I mean, public speaking is something some people rather die than do public speaking, but it's also there's a lot of prep that I mean, anybody who does podcasting knows it's not this simple thing. There's a lot of prep that goes into it.
It's a
You're
lot of work.
doing
It's a
this
lot of work.
consistently.
We
It's
edited.
yeah, it's a whole thing. And I just heard Alex Cooper talking about this with the launch of her ad company that she keeps her marketing hat on at all times. That's really what one of the big differences is for her is that she is a marketer and she's always thinking about how to push her product. And I feel like that's a piece again, there's when you're doing this, you're a host, you're a producer, you're an editor,
Yes.
you're a
Yes.
marketer, you're playing all these roles. And for this podcast, it's just me and you. So we are literally
Yes.
trying to play all the roles and fill all the gaps and push our podcast out there. So again, that's what keeps it fresh and exciting too, though, because there's so many more frontiers to get to and
Yes.
continue to grow and evolve. And thank you to everybody who has been with us and who will continue to come with us
Yes.
on the journey.
Shout out to my husband who has literally put out my mic every episode.
Her
It's the small
IT, her
things like
in-house
that.
IT.
And then shout out to my baby. I don't always get a chance to we've worked it out in our schedule, right? So I don't feel like I'm missing out. And if anything, it's like it's okay. You're seeing your mama doing something. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So um I I'm like I said, I'm proud of us. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. And I can't wait to see what the next 5 years, 10 years. I mean, Ashley, we have an entire company,
We
by the
do.
way.
We sure do.
Shout out to our LLC. Um, so yeah, we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, if there's nothing else, what are we recapping next week?
So we are recapping Black Excellence. We are recapping history, television history. We are recapping Seen and Heard, the history of Black television, currently available on HBO, HBO Max. It is a 2-episode documentary series. Issa Rae serves as an executive producer, one of the executive producers. And this is just really going down the path of looking at the history of Black television, talking to a lot of the talent that is a part of that evolution, from the folks from, the Sanford and Son, Norman Lear show days, to Blackish, to the Fresh Princess, Sister, Martin. You got Tyler Perry, you got Oprah, you got um, Shonda Rhimes, Issa, you got everybody.
Mara Brocker Keel.
Mara Bracakeel, you got so many people, Debbie Allen, you got so many people in here talking about the work, talking about the journey, and it's one to watch, in my opinion, especially
It
if you
is.
love television, and particularly for all of us who grew up Black. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So
Yep.
we will dive into that next week, but be sure to go check it out. Again, 2 episodes. I think they're about an hour and a half ish each on HBO, HBO Max. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching this episode. We appreciate it. Please share it with everybody you know. We will be back with that recap. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.